Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Let's Build video. And first of all, I'm just going to apologize for the lack of content recently. I was recovering from a sport injury, something silly. Anyhow, back now, got some new content, some new builds. Today we're at the Slug Settlement, and this is one of my personal favorites. It's got a nice in-ground pool. Most structures are pretty well intact. It's reasonably flat, it's quite large, and it just has a lot of potential. So what we're going to do is we're going to build ourselves a kind of wasteland style resort. Okay, so it's not going to be the Versace hotel or anything like that. It's just going to be our own little kind of apocalyptic style resort. We're going to try and use as much space as we can so we can facilitate everything that a settlement needs and implicate everything that we need to get 100% happiness. So what we're going to do is we're going to build ourselves a nice little resort complex, just one main structure which should house about anywhere from 50 to 100 settlers. We're going to build ourselves some market stalls, just add a bit of income to the settlement, and right next to that we're going to build ourselves a nice neat little bar as well as a armory slash workshop. We're going to have a nice neat little cropping farming area, should feed about 50 people, and build ourselves a small settlement sized power plant or power shed that should power the entire settlement. And then finally we're just going to install a security system, so an alarm at the front entrance, and then we're going to shoot for a kind of Covenant style turret system around the entire perimeter. This is a pretty effective defense system. So for anyone who hasn't found the Slug Settlement yet, it is just north of Finch Farm or the Saugus Ironworks. Okay, so I'm going to skip a lot of things, so I'm going to try and fit this all into a 20-minute video. Okay, so what I've done here is I've built myself a foundation for the main structure. Okay, and the easiest way to work this out, and the way I've worked it out, is the very center will be around where the workshop is, and the way to tell is to count 2 blocks from the light and you'll find a line. Follow that along and you should find that your first foundation should line up with that line. Okay, and this is on both sides. And one way to do this is to do it on one side and then work your foundations around to line up the opposite side. So what we've got here is we've got a little kind of line around the side here, and it should be the same on the other side. That way you just know you've got it pretty well centered, and it's looking pretty good. So you should have 3 foundations to the corner, and then what you're going to want in width is 5 foundations, and then in length you want 9. Okay, mainly because we're going to be using the 3 through the middle for the structure itself. So keep running your perimeter around and get it as close as you can to the front, and that's optional. You can do that however you want, but I've just ran my walls around the entire perimeter, or the entire foundation itself. And through the entrance here at the front, I've just finished it with a 2-block foundation. And that's on both sides. The only difference is on the opposite side. I've used for the alarm system, and I've taken that foundation out and just put a sort of steel wall in the way. That way I can still run my wires underneath. So getting back to the foundations, you see on my left here, I'm running the actual floor of the structure off the foundation. And I'll explain why we're doing this after. Just first I'm going to show you, we're going to use these 3 shack foundations, the wooden ones for the market stalls, and then we're going to use the same ones for the electrical shed. Okay, which is just a simple 3x3. You put whatever floors you want in there, it's completely up to you. So the way to do this is we've got just one shack floor right here, and we have to center it as best as we can, okay, because this is going to pretty much create a guide for the entire floor of the structure. So you want to get this pretty straight. So now you can see we've got a space out the front and a space out the back. Okay, and there was a reason why we've done that, and I'll get to that shortly. First let's just start our other side. So I've got my guide here and I'm just going to run them along. Remember, we don't want this too thick. We're going to make sure we leave ourselves a space at the front and a space at the back, okay? Because the space at the front is going to be the balcony, which we need the we need the floor to be a bit higher than the balcony, so that's why we've done this. And we're gonna have a space around the back, because alternatively, if you don't want to build yourself a generator shed around the side there, you can always build them around the back here. Okay, so just make sure we put them in 3 by 9, and then we can just start the walls. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now we'll start putting our walls in. So this is going to be an entrance just here, so we'll leave a space there. We're also going to leave a space there, and we're going to leave one space from there on. If you've done this right, you should have one at the very end. And actually, I don't think... might actually take those walls out shortly, because I'm gonna mix up the walls a bit on this one, and we're gonna use a different style of wall for the inside compared to the outside. So take these out, stick these in just for now. Okay, so each room is gonna be about 2 spaces, 2 by 2. Start chucking our roof in. Now I did have an issue with this on the other side, so just see. Yeah, okay, yeah, so we're gonna have the problem here. So what we got here is one roof's higher than the other. The left one is right, so all you have to do is just click on it and it'll pop itself up. And now we've got a gap in the walls, so we're gonna have to do the same thing. And they should just pop up themselves. If they don't, just move your camera around. It'll find its way in eventually. Okay, so we'll keep going with these roofs for now. Okay. And yeah, if these don't go in, just rotate them around. Sometimes they just don't go in certain ways. Something hopefully Bethesda will fix one day. Okay, so now we're going to work on the balcony. So actually we won't put these in just yet. What we'll do is put the railings in first, because that way when we run along we don't have to keep taking this one out. So and you should already be able to see the balcony starting to form by now. So we'll put this in here. I'll show you what to do here, because we're going to have rails through the middle just to separate the each apartment or unit. Okay, so these are just a guide, so we can run our rails off it, and then we can just go ahead and we can just take them out. Okay, so each apartment has its own balcony now. We just go ahead and just chuck the stairs in here. They should pop straight in. And we need to put this wall in, so we'll take the foundation out and then pop it back in. Alrighty, so now we're going to work on the top floor. So we're going to build our little walkway going upstairs. Have to put extra ones in at the bottom here. That's not too bad. And we're going to use these walls for the outside of here, just to mix up the colour, sort of coordination. I noticed a few of my last builds kind of had the same walls over and over, and railings and stuff, and yeah, it does get a bit boring. So just try and mix it up a little bit, and do the same thing here. And just run these around the entire outside, and you know, you can use different walls here too if you want. It's completely up to you. These two wall styles are the only ones that really seem pretty well intact compared to most of them. So now we're going to put our roofs in, and we're going to face these to the inside. Okay, just gives it kind of better perception from the front and down below. Put them in like so. These can be a bit of a pain sometimes. You just got to wriggle them around. Eventually they find their way in. And run these towards the outside as well. And then when we get to here, we're going to face both of those inwards, okay? And then we're just going to stick our normal shack upper floors here because no one's going to see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you put in there. You can put floors in, you can put just plain roofs in, it doesn't matter. And then now we're just going to put some balconies in. So these are simple, just a couple of little small wooden floors. And then we're just going to run some rails around them, create ourselves some little balconies here. You can put a couple little tables or you know, whatever you want, decorate it how you like. Okay, now it's coming along pretty good. So we just quickly add a couple little decorations, kind of to see what we're looking at. So I've just used a few little pot plants and some of these high-tech lights, which come up really well, especially at night time. Okay, and I'm going to use these for under the balcony. They just look quite nice lit up at night, especially in the doorway. Finally, we'll just add just a couple of little banners up here, just add a bit of colour to these really bland walls. It's looking alright. Yeah, not too bad at all. I don't like the middle section there, but we're going to fix that pretty soon. First things first, let's sort these walls out, and all you have to do here is just take the floor out, just so you can snap your wall to it. And what we want these rooms 2 by 2. Okay, so pretty much each wall should line up with the balcony wall. So just go ahead, take them out so you can line them up, and try and face the walls towards the front if you can. It just looks a bit better from the front and so forth. So we'll take this one out here and we're going to get our back wall going now. So I might just flip these around first. And we're actually going to take this other one out. So yeah, so we can put our wall in, and all this does is just creates a guide, so you can just keep running a wall along. Get this most of the way through because our end room, the last room, is going to be different because that's going to be our bar and our workshop. So now what we want to do is take the wall out that is opposite to the balcony wall, because we don't want a kind of a view straight through from the other side. And then we just want to go ahead and do the exact same thing on top by taking the floors out, lining your walls up, and we're just going to have the exact same setup that we have downstairs. Once that's done, let me just have a look here. Yeah, okay, so we're going to build ourselves a little deck out the side of the workshop here. Just give us opportunity to build some more stuff here, and create a bit of an entranceway. So I'm doing this by just adding a few little small blocks in, and then I'll just put a stairs in. These small stairs work pretty fine. I can run some railings around there eventually. And now it's starting to come together a bit better now. So it's gonna be our farming cropping area. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'll have my door facing this way. And there's the workshop. Also, I just took this out to put a couple of railings in, just to fill that gap in between there, which I could kind of notice from a distance. Now we're gonna start powering everything, so just run your pylons around, and I've just put them pretty much in line with each doorway, connect them, and once you've done the exact same on the opposite side, all you have to do is connect them back both together, and we should have power. Yep. There's some better light. Now I'm going to build that balcony I was talking about, because I didn't really like this setup. It's just a bit too plain through the middle, so I'm going to run a balcony through here. I just just by taking these walls out, adding a couple of small floors in, and just make sure we line these up because they're a bit higher than the rest. Looks good, so we'll add some railings now. And comes up quite nice. So we'll move along now, we'll start building our market stalls. And now these are just an old design of mine, just a way of kind of conserving space. And it's pretty simple. All you do is using the floor and roof prefab, use 3 of those and put some walls in between, put some door frames in the back, and then just a couple of rails in the front, and that way you've got a little confined box, and you should be able to neatly place a workshop in the center. You could always add a few more of these to add a few extra workshops if you wanted. I'm just going to stick with 3 for now. So go ahead and chuck these doors in the back here. You can put doors on here if you want, I just leave them off. So I'm just going to add a level 3 armor workshop. Level 3 is usually the best. And then just put a few rails on the front and that'll just kind of finish it off. Yourself a little compartment in there, and then put a walkway in here. So I'm just going to do that by sticking a wooden floor in just to add a stairs, and just keep that pretty simple. Now the generator room's pretty self-explanatory. You just fill them up. I've done 5 by 5, so there's 20 in total, which puts out about 100 power. Should be more than what we need here. So just go ahead, run your walls around. If you find that you can't snap to anything, just take the floor out where you can create yourself a guide like we did earlier, and then just keep running your walls straight across. As for your turret platforms, the way I did it was quite tedious, so you can do it really any way you want. I just use the stairs to elevate the wooden floor to the height of the fence line, and then and you have to get it quite straight, so that way you can just run it straight across. And just keep running them across, and you take out the ones behind it to reserve the amount of wooden floors that you have to build. I think by measurement, I've placed the turret every 3 steel walls, and then 3.5 for the rest of the way down. Which didn't work out too bad. So now you're going to want to place your turrets in, and I did this by just putting the laser turrets in on every second platform, and then just use the original heavy minigun turrets. Just because laser turrets can be quite resourceful, and have pretty high power requirements. Now when powering them, just make sure you put 2 around the laser turrets and 1 underneath the ones that don't require power. It's just to minimize the amount you need, and that way you can just connect the 2 around the laser turret to the turret and then the rest underneath. Pretty simple concept once you sort of get the hang of it. Now also I've just created an extra turret at the front here, platform out of this prefab here, and just kept it pretty simple. I finally finished some finishing touches, like putting in all the corn and the food and stuff in the farming area. Make sure to add all your water here too. You can put a purifier in the pool if you wanted to. Looks a bit untidy, but that's completely up to you. I've used this place personally for water, and then just added a few things I needed for the workshop. None of this stuff is finished, but this is just the basics, and just so you can get a fair idea of what it looks like. Same with the bar as well. A few little final touches. Didn't come up too bad. And then I've just placed one of these in just because I was having troubles with some of the travelers that were coming through here, and just hoping that maybe that might fix it. And then just make sure you put a couple more turrets inside the complex, just in case. I have had one occasion where an enemy spawned just randomly in the center area here. A little extra added security inside is always really handy. So now finally we're just going to install our alarm system out the front here, which is pretty simple. You just have to make sure that the laser tripwire is connected to the siren, and then you have a generator connected off a different wire. Okay, you can't intersect them, they have to be separate wires. And as you can see here, I have the one wire that goes along the wall, which goes directly to the siren, and then the other wire goes directly to the generator. So go right ahead and decorate it, go nuts. I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been a long day. Hope you guys like it. Please don't forget to leave a like if you did. And like always, I'll see you guys next time.